Good evening, everybody. The topic of my speech today is making healthy food choices. In the summer of 1990, I had the privilege to attend a beautiful ceremony which was given for the graduates of the Culinary Arts School of the University of Rome in Italy. This ceremony took place in this beautiful small fishing village which is called Castiglione Romano and is located 30 miles east of Rome. During this ceremony, I had to give the oath of the responsible and ethical chef in front of the committee and the president of the university, Professor Ricci, that throughout my professional career as a chef, I would choose the best foods when I create my dishes for myself, my family, and my customers and my children. On the long run, because of this oath, I denied to work in businesses that they use cardboard foods, because when food is packed, it lacks the energy-yielding nutrients, which are the minerals, the vitamins, and so forth. And because of this oath, I have been fighting against the $1 culture, and I still fight against it. Unfortunately, the advertisement uses strong and radical persuasive patterns, and the people fall unconsciously because of the convenience of this $1 culture food and the cheap cost. Do you believe that making poor food choices will affect our health or not? Sizer and Whitney, in their book published in 2008 with the name Nutrition: The Science of Eating, claim that when we reach 65 years or more, we have accumulated more than 70,000 meals and have disposed of 50 tons of it. They claim that somehow this food that goes on and off our body will affect our body, and we will notice these consequences when we age if we know what to look for. If poor food choices, furthermore, were not that disastrous for our health, then the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, together with the U.S. Department of Agriculture, would not promote through their web pages educational goals, educate consumers at all levels about their nutrition. And Sizer and Whitney agree on that, and they ring the bell and they say that the #1 cause of death in the United States is heart diseases because of poor food choices, and osteoporosis, type 2 diabetes follow chronic diseases that they are caused by poor food choices as well. You might think at this point that I exaggerate, but throughout my professional work, I go through these thoughts every day. Let's take, for instance, a breast of chicken and deep fry it for 5 minutes. When we take it out, all this excessive salt which is accumulated around the skin, you might think that it's okay, but if you think that all this excessive oil is translated into bad cholesterol and cardiovascular diseases and stroke, at the far extent, you will change your mind. Let's see now how poor food choices affect us since childhood. Deas Gerald, in an article that he published in the New York Amsterdam News in 2009, who holds a master's in nutrition, claims that when kids come back to school after a summer holiday, they are irritable, they act up, they are antisocial, they are hyperactive, and they lack concentration and they have loss of memory. And this is because of all these sugary foods and sodas that they have consumed during the summertime. Mary Brophy-Marcus, as well, a dietitian of the American Diabetes Association, in an article which was published in USA Today in 2009, proves that through medical research, it is diagnosed that junk food develops type 2 diabetes to children, which leads to being overweight, which leads to being non-active, and therefore they have mental and psychological deviations such as lack of memory and lack of concentration. But at this point, it's logical that you ask me, what is a healthy diet? A healthy diet has 5 characteristics: balance, adequacy, calorie control, moderation, and variety, and consume regularly throughout the day our meals. Do you still believe that poor food choices will harm our health or not. Greg Chu, which is the Vice President of the healthcare system in North America, in an article that he published in USA Today in 2009, claims that the Americans know the disastrous consequences of junk food. However, they keep this love and hate relationship with it, and they choose it because of the convenience and the cheap cost. However, the most important thing of this research is that Americans choose junk food when they are in a bad mood. This proves that we are after poor food choices when we have poor reason. And Sizer and Wheat, they come at this point, ring the bell again, and say that excessive salt, excessive trans fat and saturated fat, excessive sugar, and excessive this and that in our body will cause, when we age, chronic and untreatable diseases such as osteoporosis, which is the fracture of the bones and the deformation of the skeleton, type 2 diabetes, excessive glucose in the blood, and blindness, cardiovascular diseases, excessive fat around the heart tissues, danger of stroke, and high blood pressure, excessive salt in the bloodstream with danger of stroke as well. To conclude, we have seen how poor food choices affect our well-being, our mind, our health, and how they help to develop chronic diseases when we age. I myself, as an executive chef, I will always keep an eye on my customers and cook the best for them. So let's go to the aisles with the fresh produce in the supermarkets. Pick up some eggplant, pick up some tomatoes, make wonderful sandwiches. And instead of deep frying, let's take a kettle, a cover, put the olive oil, the food, and cook it slowly, and all the nutrients will stay in there. Thank you. Wow, 7 cool.